everybody, we're going to do our mat flow today, and it's for everybody, so all levels. We're going to work on strength and mobility of the hip. Okay, so let's just start with our feet hip width apart. Knees are soft, working your way up to your hips, face forward. Let's bring the pelvis into neutral. Arms down, piece of string pulls you up tall. Chin tucks in, inhale, shoulders rise. Exhale, bring those shoulder blades down. Let's take the attention to the breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth, through to the ribs, and through to the spine. Let's start to draw up through the pelvic floor. At your highest height, then engage those abdominals. On the next inhale, we're taking it to shoulder shrugs for 8. Exhale, lift up and drop. Exhale to power it. Inhale to reset it. So start to be aware of how you feel through these muscles. 2 more, then we're taking it to chest flies. Okay, so we're going to take it to chest flies with an open door. So we're going to exhale, open, close, open door. So we're twisting through the spine. Exhale, bringing in the chest and back, then moving through the spine. Make sure you're keeping those hips forward when you open that door. Really good pelvic floor. We're going to do one more set. Last one. Waist twist. Fold the arms but don't elevate through the shoulders and still work through that waist. One more either side. Last time left, and release, shoulder roll out. Let's take it to done later. Exhale, open, inhale, reset. For 6, 3, 4. Last one, stay here and stretch out and pull. And pull. So we're still extending through the shoulders, the upper back, the chest is proud as we work through those arms. One more, and release, shoulder roll out. Taking it to side bends, arm at the side, exhale down. So you're getting that lateral neck stretching, then to the other. Start to think about that muscle. Is there any tightness? If there is, make sure your core is on. It will help to release it faster. One more either side. Last time left. Okay, we're going to take it to wide squats. So turn your toes out, go to your width, whichever's best, as long as you're pushing out of that comfort zone. We're going to sit down and drive up for 12. Couple more. Last one. Let's take it to lateral lunges. So turn the feet forward. We're going to push. And then to the other. So bringing in the hip and the bottom as a team. Make sure your knees not going over your toes. And you're still working on pushing that bottom back. One more either side, then we're taking it to our balance move. And reset. Walk those feet back in. Okay. So we're working on sliding up the leg. If you want to add a progression, extend out. Come back to the slide and down the leg for 8. So if it's too much for you, just work on the sliding up and down the leg. Try to keep the pelvis as centre as you can and really focus on the balance move. Think about where you're working. Is the core connected? Is your chest proud? Keeping the shoulders stacked over the buttocks will really help with the balance. So we're just opening up our hip. And foot pedal through when you've done your 8. You know you can chop your reps. But taking your time with balance is super good. The more we can work on balance, the more the muscles are going to come together. Okay, are we ready? Slide up. If you extended, extend. Then slide down. When you've done your 8, just foot pedal through and release. Okay, so we're doing our roll downs. We've only got 8 on. Afterwards, we're going to lay on our back and start to warm up that upper body with chest lifts. So we're going to do a little bit of abs. Okay, so let's think about our roll downs. We've got 8 on. Chin to chest, start to slowly peel down. Keeping the pelvis as centre as you can. Slow and controlled, come back up on that inhale. Make sure you're tucking the bottom under and not pushing it out. If you need to have a bend in your knees, establish the bend, but don't push any more through the bend. So whatever your bend is, you're not going to keep pushing through it. So let's really start to take note of our body through these roll downs. Is there any tightness that we need to be aware of? If anything's causing you pain, don't push through it. Only go to the uncomfortable. Two more for me. Last one for me. And carefully make contact with the mat. Okay, so we're laying on the back for chest lift. Make sure you lock your neck as if it's part of the upper back. Bend through the legs, good core connection. If you've not got that lower back imprinted in the mid part, just lift up your shoulders. You can always do a mini bridge, place back down. Hands behind head, make your head heavy, so it's pushing into the hands, not vice versa. Elbows are nice and wide. Chin is not connected to the chest, so you're keeping that space. And we exhale, lift up. Inhale, slowly peel back. You can chop your reps throughout the program, do what's best for you. Just make sure you're counting to aid that concentration, and especially when you're doing your side lying, because we need to match out, as we're always aiming for the symmetry. You'll exhale to lift, inhale through the nose to come back. The guide is 12. Okay, so now we're going to team chest lift and bridge together. So we're going to come up through our bridge at our highest height. We're going to slowly peel down, manipulating that spine. Then we lift through the chest. That's 1. Let's aim for 12. You're trying to get better at each one you do. If you need to come out earlier, do so. Just maybe bring those knees to the chest and just circle out the back. In the bridge, make sure you're driving up those hip bones and you feel the equalness through the pelvis. You're still making that head heavy, so you're not overusing the neck. And you think about just lifting through the chest. So try not to put pressure through the neck by squeezing it. Even if your lift is small and you've got a good technique, that's better to go with that. 2 more. Last one. Let's just take our hands away, do some small nose circles just to reset your neck. Then change the direction. Let's just massage out the back, bringing the knees towards. Big, large circles for 3. And then we'll change the direction. Then we're going to take it onto side lying. Laying on your right, ready to work your left. And we're taking it to developing. So we're going to stack up, make sure everything's in alignment, the hips, the knees, the ankles, hand is in front of navel. We're going to slide up the leg, keeping the Q angle open and the pelvis square. We come to a bent leg. We lengthen with a point, we turn to our flex and we outwardly turn and slowly down. We're aiming for 12 in total, but you know you can chop your repetitions. So if this speed is a little bit fast for you, then definitely chop them. Make sure you're outwardly turning the best you can without rotating through your pelvis, as that targets the ball and socket joint. So we're really working on opening up the tendons and ligaments to make a more mobile hip. Anything feels too uncomfortable or painful, you come out as soon as. Yes, we do push to the uncomfortableness just to make a progression, but it depends on how it feels for you. One more. And release. I'm going to bend the underneath knee now, and I'm just going to support my head. You can stay fully side lying if you wish. Now we're doing forward of the hip, so we're going to come in line forward of the hip, in line with the knee, with a flex for up and down, slow and control for 12. Now this may be a bit of a challenge, so you may want to chop again. So you may want to do 6. Keeping a flex 4 is really working on targeting the hip and the bottom as a team. You're still thinking about keeping the hips stable. 2 more. And release. So if you chopped your reps, you'll be matching what I've just done. If you're doing your 12, you may be continuing. I'll just rest. You may want to tap out the hip. Okay. We're going to extend the top leg, thinking of bicycle. So we're going to come forward with the leg, point, flex and cycle round without wobbling. You may want to fully side lie for this. You may get more stability through the pelvis. The most important thing you can do, the more we stay stable through the pelvis, the more we're not overusing through the back. And we're aiming for 12 again. The reason we do 12 is because it targets hypertrophy, meaning it makes an enlargement of muscle, so you eventually become stronger. Last one, and release. Tap out, well done. Okay, we're taking it to side plank, so you could go on your forearm. I'm going to take mine onto my wrist, because I'm going to bring in side plank twists. Now if that's too much for you today, just work on trying to get up in your side plank, up and down. So even if you just do a few, you're still working through your strength. You may be 3/4 here, where you're bringing the top leg out. The wrist or the elbow is directly underneath the shoulder. We lift up. We're going to tuck under as our spine twist move, and then we open up the chest. We're aiming for 12. Even if you do a few, that's super good. I'm still thinking about drawing up the underneath hip. as I'm really stretching and engaging through my core. When you have the new 12, you're going to start to slowly lower. And if you need to stretch out the shoulder, bring the arm across and take the neck as far around as you can. If you need to stretch the wrists, straighten the arm and bring the fingers towards the shoulder, extending. You can always circle out afterwards. Well done, super work. Okay, so we're going to take it to our roll backs. Then after that, we're going to go to the other side lying. So our chin comes to our chest and we start to C-curve. Slow and controlled, I want you to accurately peel up. If you'd rather do roll ups, the full move, do so. Just make sure you do less. So we're aiming for 12. And if you are doing your full roll ups, probably aim for 6. So I'll go through the full roll ups if that's what you're on, but make sure you're not lifting through your shoulders and you're not bringing in those legs. It's a peel. Grow tall, chin to chest. You can strengthen a lot more in a roll back here in the prep, because you can start to really work on the depth of it and get better control through it. Really work on manipulating those abdominals. The more you do, the more faster they're going to get stronger and they're going to grow better. Make sure you're breathing through the move. Muscles need oxygen, otherwise they're not going to grow as much as they could in the true potential of it. When you have done your 12, you're going to knee hug. Remember, the number is only a guide. I'm going to make this my last one, and I'm going to knee hug, just to take any pressure off my back that I may have caused. Okay, we're going to take it to the other side lying as we work our side lying developee. Laying on your left side now, ready to work your right. Now if you're a lot more stronger through your right, doesn't mean you're going to go any more bigger with the move. You're going to think about matching with your weaker side. Hand in front of navel, slide up the leg, keeping the Q angle and the pelvis open. 90. Lengthen with the point, flex, outwardly turn and down. Now if you did 12 on the other side, make sure you match. So think about your reps. Counting your reps really aids the concentration, so you can really tune into the breath and the principles of Pilates. So you're really using that focal point. I've got 2 more to match out. I'm on my last, I'll wait for you. I bent the underneath leg, prepping for the next move. Of the flex forward of the hip. You need to tap out, so come forward. Think about the height that you did on the other side. We're going to really target into the gluteal group. Hand in front of navel, up and down. Be body aware. We're always working on that correction. Last one for me. If you need to tap out your hip, do so. Bring the leg into neutral, ready for bicycle. So we're going to lean forward with the knee, flex, cycle round. Aiming for 12 repetitions, but be body aware. But if you did do this, 12 on the other side, you really need to match out. Even if the hip is trying to freeze, just take time out, tap it, and then see how many more you can get. After this, we're thinking about our side plank move. So you may have been on your forearm, just working on trying to get up and down, or you may have tackled it through the wrist. Did you bring in those side plank twists? I kept the leg extended, you could do half stacked. Think about your position. If you did the twist, make sure you do the twist again. Driving out with the underneath hip, we rotate under. We lengthen up. If you did 12, you're matching out. So our last move, then we're going to work on stretching. 2 more. Last one for me. And release. Just stretch the shoulder that you've been on. Super work. So we're just going to lay down, take it to our eye of the needle, as we've done equal strength, equal mobility. So we should have a really good Q angle, especially from the développé. Keeping the pelvis centre as you stretch in. If you'd rather collect your move, you can collect here. I'm going to keep mine down. Switch to the other side and repeat the move. Encourage the hip to open, still keeping the pelvis centre. Coming up to a seated position, whichever's best for you, as we take it to our side bend. And we'll stretch the shoulders again after this. Arm across. Take the neck as far round as you can. Other side. Shoulder. Carefully coming up standing, whichever's best for you. Shoulder roll out, and super work as always. Goodbye.